Dungeons & Dragons has a lot of popular variants, including Old School Essentials, Shadow Dark, and Lamentations of the Flame Princess, which is essentially Grimdark BX D&D. Today we look at their new campaign, A True Relation of the Great Virginia Disastrum, a 3-volume set fully compatible with any OSR version of D&D, today on Dungeon Craft. Welcome to Dungeon Craft. I'm Professor DM, and this channel is about all things tabletop role-playing games. And if you love them as much as I do, Deathbringer, tell them what they should do.
Like, subscribe, bell, comment, newsletter, Facebook, X, Patreon for bonus content.
Once in a while, I come across a product that I can say, I have never seen anything like this in the tabletop role-playing game sphere before. And that is the case with today's product, A True Relation of the Great Virginia Disastrum, a new campaign for Lamentations of the Flame Princess. And if you're not familiar with that system, it is adapted from the BX version of Dungeons & Dragons, which was sold back in the early 1980s, except that it's very weird and grimdark, and such is the case with this product. Full disclosure, this product was given to me by Lamentations of the Flame Princess under no obligation to review, but I read it and I said, yeah, this is great stuff. I have to review it. But no other remuneration was exchanged for the making of this video. We've got not one, but 2 maps of the Virginia colony. This one for the Game Master. It contains a village generator and scenario generator. On the back, it's a hex grid, also an expedition log, and character sheets. Charisma, Constitution, Dexterity, Intelligence, Strength, Wisdom, Armor, Hit Points, they all work the way you think they do. We also have a terrific Game Master screen, 4 panels with random encounters and miscast tables on the inside for convenience. Personally, I prefer these lower screens. That way I can get to my potato chips. This one also folds up really neatly. Here are the 3 volumes included with the set. 414 pages of material over 3 volumes. Binding is excellent. The pages, kind of a vellum color. Comes with a ribbon. No expense has been spared here. The interior covers show the map, and this area over here gets the hex treatment. The background is unusual. It's easier if I just read it. This book offers an events-based scenario, a wilderness point crawl, a space warp crawl, and a source book for 1633 Virginia. In the midst of colonization of 2 kinds, the colonization of North America by Europeans and the colonization of Earth by castaways from the 5th dimension. The latter have come because when their spaceship broke down, they answered a bogus message promising safe harbor, a wizard's bungled attempt at summoning a demon. The still burning drive of the alien vessel punched through the earth in both space and time, deforming both. The drive now twinkles in the sky over Virginia as the disastrum of the title. I couldn't have explained that. The main setting here is the Virginia colony. There are a number of hooks, how to get the players there, and this key character, Dr. Trefusis, or Trefusis, I'm not sure, but Dr. Trefusis holds a doctorate in divinity from Oxford and a license from the Church of England, and he's attempting to investigate the warp that contains his assistants, guards, some Powhatan guides, and his favorite dogs. Now, if that's not weird enough, a second Trefusis has landed in Virginia, and as the adventurers begin exploring the region, he and his party have just camped at Encounter Area 6. And this guy is an occultist, and apparently he destroyed London. So at some point he may try to replace the original Doctor. Tips on verisimilitude as opposed to accuracy. Timeline of the colony. Maps, and a very historically accurate map of the Jamestown Fort. Some personalities, and you'll recognize armor, movement, morale. Anyone familiar with Dungeons & Dragons will get it. News, money, outfitting. I love this, authentic colonist names. So you could be Samuel Paget, or George Fleck, or Constance Johnson. Colonist belongings, a bunch of these are the Bible. Razors, snuff boxes, tobacco pipes, random quotable scriptures, a sample plantation, New Dunster. You can also play an indigenous person, probably a Powhatan. In the US it's pronounced Powhatan. I pronounce it the English way because these would be English colonists. A Powhatan had a secret name, given early in life. And they also had public names. And they took additional public names that described their noteworthy deeds. For example, he has captured a cannon. It describes their clothing and customs. It's very respectful. They have their own lists of personal belongings. Got a list of Virginia NPCs. Reverend George Asherton. He has captured a cannon. She has shot farthest. Peter Collingwood. This is great stuff. Travel and random encounters. Hex crawls. The zones surrounding the warp. And tons of random encounters. Now if you enjoy the movie The Witch, this is pretty much D&D meets The Witch. Volume 2, Lo, New Lands. And the places and the scenarios are weird. There's no orcs, there's no goblins. Here the players are attacked by giant snail people. Trees made of flesh and pods, regenerant corpses, the spine snapper. This gives you an idea of the kind of stuff that you're going to encounter. And like I said, there's nothing else like it. Swarms of cicadas, murderous trees, a factory fungus. If I were doing a scenario based on like Roanoke, it would be like a one-shot, but this is a whole campaign. Like, this could go for years. Great maps. This is the blistered forest. Evocative art. I love this. Blister pod contents. Embryo, human. Embryo, giant human. Embryo, alien but familiar. Human corpses, semi-digested. There are a lot of charts here. This scenario takes the characters through the warp, and they can visit an alternative London called the City of Crawling Blood. I mean, this is an entire city. Crazy stuff. Volume 3, Prodigies, Monsters, and Index. Just in case you think the index is padding the page count, it's only 3 pages. The rest of it is filled with these creepy as hell monsters like the witch ticks, skin blimps, the spine snapper. How can you not want to run a monster called the skin blimp? Giant possums, creeperlings, the corpse king. Yeah, there's nothing like green slime in this book. Okay, so what's my final verdict here? Well, it's brilliant. It's also very weird. Not everyone's going to dig it, but I'm so thrilled it exists. I think it runs about 132 pounds, which is about 165 American, but these books are built to last. This box is sturdy. It'll look cool on a bookshelf. This is probably a couple of years worth of play, at least. Hats off to Ezra Clavery for creating this tour de force, and props to Lamentations of the Flame Princess, who've spared no expense to bring it to players. This is the kind of terrific stuff that mainstream Dungeons & Dragons would just never do. And it is brilliant. Probably one of the most brilliant campaigns I have ever seen. And that's why A True Relation of the Great Virginia Disastrum gets 2 big thumbs up from me. I have just never seen anything like it. If you're interested in acquiring A True Relation of the Great Virginia Disastrum, you can get it from Lamentations of the Flame Princess at the links below. And you want to do it today because they're running a massive year-end sale. Almost every title is 50% off. Also below, you'll find links to the Deathbringer Mini from Mammoth Factory Minis and my Patreon. Thanks to all the patrons who make this content possible. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. And may all your rolls be 20s.
Step back, you Puritan whack jobs.
Oh, Deathbringer, you saved me. How can I ever repay you?
That all depends. Just how scarlet is that letter?